Guys, so today I'm going to be going over my processing of HZG68. So I've just loaded everything with the LRG module, specified that it's linear and not bared. Now I'm cropping it down and applying a preliminary stretch just to look at the image. Now I'm going to get rid of the gradients and sky background, and now I'll redevelop it to show what we have minus the background. 90% development is my standard. So now I go into the life module and use the isolate preset, which essentially what it does is it brightens your DSO and then darkens the background and gives you a nice sense of contrast that really brings your image to life, as the name of the module would imply. It is probably the most valuable processing tool that I have, and I really do like to utilize it. Especially for this image, it gave me perfect results just with the default settings. I played around with a bunch of different things, but default from my second processing version was the best thing for me. So we're almost done here calculating energy distribution model. And then after this we go into wavelet sharpening. Sharpen on the largest scale, just default settings, just to sharpen things up a little bit. Not a huge improvement, but it's definitely an improvement nonetheless. So now I go into HDR and kind of optimize presets. A little weird. It just does a few local small scale contrast things that really improves your image. Now I'm running a decon on my image. This image actually was the first image I think I've ever had that cooperated with Star Tool's decon. And it's not a big change, as you'll see as soon as it stops loading. However, it's a change that I kept nonetheless in my final process of this image. Yeah, and now I'm doing a fractal flux extraction on small scales, and I'm going to use fractal flux in order to sharpen the image, modulate an unsharp mask. And it sharpens noise a little bit, but that's okay. Now I'm going in and doing my color calibration. And I really do like the colors in this image. I think I did that quite well. Now I'm doing a detail-aware denoise, which, for those of you who don't know, Star Tools is unique in that it uses a detail tracking feature that tracks every processing step and has every processing step you apply in the image communicate with every other, even backwards through time. And by doing that, it can figure out kind of what's detail, what's signal, and what's noise in your image. So when you go to do your final noise reduction, it's aware of what's detail and what's not, so it can specifically target and destroy the noise in your image, and it's a very useful tool to have. I really do love detail-aware denoise. So it's almost done here with the scale extraction. So now this part does actually take a while. Denoising takes a while, so I might actually cut this out. There we go. Nice, clean of noise image. I'm just going to resharpen for some of the detail that did end up getting smoothed out. Go back in, and now I'm selecting a mask, specifically targeting stars in the image that I felt were kind of bright and had aberrations to them, except for the really bright one in the center of the galaxy group. And that one double star kind of by NGC 5358, I believe it is. But I'm just trying to redistribute the star mass around the core being the average location. I'm just trying to get a nice, cleaner image, rounding out the stars, making them look a little better. And now I'm doing a final color calibration, and that's the end of my process. So here I am with my final image of Hickson Compact Group 68, as well as Supernova 2019ein, right. Ooh, whoa, there. This is actually not a predominantly blue star, it's a supernova that went off recently, 2 days before capturing this, 1 week ago as of recording this on the 14th. So we've got some nice, the star color is not the greatest, although it never is in my images, so I'm not too concerned about that. This star got way blown out, but that's okay, it's a really bright star. These two galaxies were kind of lacking of detail, but a lot of that and a lot of the lack of detail I got was mostly due to my guiding, which was not the greatest. In fact, my guiding was awful compared to what it normally is during this capture. Though despite this, despite the poor guiding, I was definitely happy with how clean the result came out and how easy the process was. I didn't have to try and force any data out. It just kind of was there if it was there. And the colors, I feel like the colors were easy to process. One simple calibration and then boosting the saturation at the very end seemed to do it for me. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. See you later.